Get it up, get it up, get it up. Hello. Welcome back, everyone, to another video on Fresh Cut Slim. And today, we're looking at Gen Z's obsession with violence by Tommy NFG. And yeah, with that being said, the original link's in the description, and let's begin.
Imagine this scenario. You wake up for work at 7:15 a.m. to get ready, have to deal with an hour worth of traffic because road infrastructure in America is designed by people, I presume.
7:15. Isn't that really late? Like, when I was working, I would get up at 4:45 to 5 o'clock.
Who have never drove a car. You managed to make it just in time for your shift at 9. You work at the movie theater. All you have to do is make sure people have the right movie ticket and sweep the floor. You walk into one of the theaters as two final words are uttered from a movie.
Chicken jockey, there you go.
And proceed to get hit by 10 popcorn bugs with the force of a Boeing 737. The Minecraft chicken jockey incidents are just one of many trends that Gen Z has done, which has related to things such as vandalism, general violence, and harassment. And I'm here to answer the question of why is Gen Z so violent? But before I start, that whole question can
It's just human nature. I don't think we can say Gen Z is all that violent, you know, compared to how people were not that long ago.
Be answered pretty quickly. Some of you might be confused by the title because according to statistics, Gen Z overall is actually the generation with the lowest rate of violent crime ever recorded of any youth of a generation. And we're actually over 60% lower than baby boomers were at our ages. So take that, you old f***s. And now that I know about this, it's funny when I'm walking by grandma and she starts to clutch her purse. Like, I should be the one clutching my purse. Your generation was 60% more violent than us. So even though traditional violent crimes are way lower with us, we have way more of a psychological violence and mental violence. Just like I mentioned at the start of this video,
Is there stats to back that up?
one of our things is dangerous challenges. Growing up seeing these crazy challenges every year on YouTube did not help us develop well. Like, I remember the first time I saw someone doing the salt and ice challenge and thought how wild it was. If only they could see what we have now. People were intentionally burning their skin off for views and likes. And when you're a kid, you saw.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. People would like cover their hands in like rubbing alcohol or something and light it on fire. I don't know why you'd do that, because you're gonna need skin grafts after that.
Look up things like a sponge. Because I don't know why, but my friends in the neighborhood gathered around to do it and see who could last the longest. They tried to offer me to join in. Like, I like my sexy caramel skin being intact. I'm good off that. So us growing up with this mentality, of course nowadays we're gonna come up with dumb challenges.
No matter where you are, if you have a bunch of people trying to see who lasts the longest, definitely probably don't have anything to do with that unless you like crackers.
And try to do it for views, which the Gen Alphas shall grow up and carry the tradition on after us. But on TikTok for us, it's gotten notably worse. I don't know if it's just because TikTok can generate easy ass views for almost anyone. Usually the challenges back then were absolutely brain dead, but at least it was just harming yourself. The next stage we've reached is harming others. The time I visibly remembered things starting to change was with the devious lick challenge.
Yeah, I think that's what I remember. Just stealing crap.
I had just graduated that year, so luckily I wasn't in high school anymore to witness that bullshit. But we casually made robbery a trend and funny. I feel like in other generations, they would have just been too scared to have the audacity to do something like this off being arrested, and being scared to be put on the local news and having all their friends and family laugh at them and make fun of them for it. Also, some of y'all may not know, but the devious lick trend, yeah, they brought this whole trend back. Instead of now destroying school bathrooms and vandalizing them, they're taking school Chromebooks and annihilating.
I heard that like this week, or maybe last week, I don't know, but I did read about that. People are so stupid. These people literally need to be charged with something for like vandalism or destroying public property, something like that. And then they'll stop, you know, throw the book at them, and then people won't do it. So these underfunded schools now have to replace these. I don't know how much these cost, but you know, imagine they're $800. So now these public schools who are low funded have to replace these. Come on. Yo.
I don't know if some of these high schoolers don't have a plan to go to college or get any future employment, but they're literally posting these videos on their personal accounts. You would think they would make burners so their school doesn't catch who's doing it, but you can search them on TikTok, Chromebook durability test yourself, and see how many of these high schoolers are doing it on their personal accounts. Then of course we got challenges like the Skull Breaker challenge and the penny
If they're doing that, I mean, I don't even think it matters if they do try to go to college. I don't know how successful they'll be.
Outlet challenge. A lot of this is just for views, but there is another aspect to it in my opinion. I think what Gen Z really likes compared to other generations is the watching of people doing violent things. And this all stems from one place where everything on the internet links to.
Nah, that's, come on. People used to gather in town square to watch people being hanged and stuff back in the day. People have always had some kind of interest in the violent nature of humans.
For demonetization reasons, I can't fully say it, and I don't know if I can. It rhymes with lore, and scroll on IG Reels about 5 times and you'll probably see it. The impact content has had on Gen Z is bigger than people think. There's probably a 90% chance anybody watching this in Gen Z has seen a video intentionally or unintentionally. Before YouTube cracked down on it, you could casually see it on here. And there was always that one kid in school who would go around and try to show people weird videos like that. Those type of dudes were definitely school threats. Seeing these type of videos in general is bad for you, but for somebody with a growing mind seeing it, it's even worse. Which is why I think it's an aspect in us being obsessed with dangerous trends. We're so desensitized to us, it don't even matter anymore. I don't think humans were meant to see this much violence in our lifetime. In past generations, you couldn't casually see this stuff. I genuinely think if something like 9/11 happened nowadays, people would probably forget after a week when another catastrophic event happens and start posting brain rot memes of the.
It would be interesting to see how would people react today regarding it if it did happen now. Like, would everyone just take out their phones and be like, oh, look, another plane? Would people be doing that, or would they be traumatized? I don't know. Because, you know, back in the day, yeah, it wasn't as easy seeing all the violence, but people were still really violent back then, right? Like, things haven't really changed.
Twin Towers. Shows back then used to get in deep trouble when they made a joke about 9/11. It took multiple years for shows and movies to start making jokes because they knew the public would tear them up. But nowadays you'll have a bunch of people in the comments typing, oh man, TS funny as hell. Keep it up, gang. I know not everyone in our generation is like that. A lot of us know when the right time is to make a joke and when it isn't. Looking at IG Reel comments though shows you the other side of people who don't know and don't care. IG Reels to me is like the kick of short form content. People will say comments that isn't even formed as a joke and people die laughing at it. Going back to the challenges, maybe this isn't the end all be all for the challenges. Recently the ice bucket challenge started making its comeback, and that's what I want to see more of. Like, let's bring back the wholesome challenges on the internet. Our generation's obsession with serial killers too was also a weird thing. The fact that serial killers be having lines of women ready for them is such a weird concept to me.
Well, like Ted Bundy and I forget the other guy's name, but there are a couple of them who are like handsome relatively. That's what I think women are attractive to. If these people who are, you know, these serial killers, if they were extremely ugly people, I don't think there's gonna be a line of women after them, right?
I just want just once for them to be released and manage to marry one of these fans and have all the fangirls with the Pikachu shock face when he ends up stabbing her while she's sleeping. I don't know what they think is gonna happen, but it's not gonna be a honeymoon. One notable incident from our generation of this serial killer obsession we can't forget is Jeffrey Dahmer. Specifically when the show reenacting his life released on Netflix. You see, Jeffrey Dahmer already had fangirls back in the 90s when he first got locked up, sending him all their money and gifts and their nudes. Sending a gay man your nudes as a woman has got to be the biggest intentional airball of all time. I would say a majority of Gen Z did know about Jeffrey Dahmer, but a lot of people didn't. So when Netflix released this show and it went,
I do think it's not good for Netflix and these other movie companies to be making shows glorifying these types of people or romanticizing or dramatizing these types of people, because I think there is, with the way how the public is, it's going to inspire certain mentally ill individuals to do something similar.
Number one, he got introduced to a whole new generation on the mainstream. And as they always say, history repeats itself. TikTok was flooded with simp edits for him. They took no time immediately making edits of him on TikTok.
You didn't know. Till I die, all these lollies call me rubbing on her die.
TikTok had to go on a spree deleting a bunch of these edits after they were going viral. And you could see a bunch of women in the comments talking about he's so dreamy and kind-hearted. I say we
Kind-hearted? People were saying that? Nah. He's so dreamy to Jeffrey Dahmer? No way. This is why we need father figures.
f around and let them find out. Oh wait, we can't because he's dead. Even killers in our generation are getting simped over. In 2021, a guy named Cameron Herron got sentenced to 24 years in prison. The reason was because he was speeding and hit a mom with her daughter, killing them on the spot. One of the most heartless things you can do. And just like Jeffrey Dahmer, they were making edits of Cameron.
I think I vaguely remember seeing this.
They went as far to even make a petition for him to be released.
Yeah, because that's how the law works. Sir, you told any girls to sign a petition to release this criminal. Well, I guess we better release him then. It's so stupid.
That got 22,000 signatures on it. I'm not gonna lie, I don't ever want to hear women say men are more down bad when like this exists. Would men do the same if a similar thing happened with a woman that looked good?
Yeah, I could fix her.
Absolutely, 100%. It'd probably be actually double the amount of signatures. But that shows we're really equal for real. Gen Z just likes to obsess over any danger in any aspect, like music too. Bro, I'll never forget when every rapper started rocking a shiesty in 2020. Everyone and their mother were running to the store to buy them. The shiesty hit the social media streets like crack. If you grew up around typical YNs, you already saw them rocking it before it became popular. So to me, it was funny growing up and seeing it go from purely hood wearing them to Billy from Utah with a loving family. Some people really don't know how big the reach is. As y'all know, I was in Japan for about 2 weeks this past month. Go follow on like the IG post, by the way, because I'm looking sexy. And I can't make this up. I seen a fully Japanese guy wearing a shiesty and sagging in Tokyo. The only gang you've been fighting is the Hidden Leaf Village, man. Take that off. Out of rap, our generation takes the most dangerous aspects and tries to emulate it. It can't be that lyrical because people call that corny. You pull up to the function rapping like Eminem and people are just gonna die laughing at you. Gangster rap from the past versus now doesn't even come close. Back then, the most you had was 50 Cent and you knew his lore and how he grew up in the streets. People thought they were leading the hood when listening to Many Men. But nowadays, you got whole documentaries on rappers who are admitted serial killers. King Von—
It is wild seeing how there are a bunch of rappers who have, committed extreme crimes and even rap about it, and they're glorified. Like, whether you like the music or not is one thing, but glorifying these, people who commit such crazy crimes.
On becoming so big has got to be an indicator that our generation is really obsessed with violence. Everybody who listened to him knew damn well this man was dropping people left and right on the streets. And that's what added to the appeal for our generation. Okay, it has always been a thing in rap where people ask, is the rapper really living what they rap? Which I think people are starting to care less about and more care about if the song is just good. I think us losing some of the biggest rappers to this violence kind of made it and put us off. I remember when Lil Tecca was breaking down his song lyrics and making sure people know he's not actually on any of that type of shit. Honestly, it felt refreshing and was hilarious to watch.
I got 2 twin Glocks, turn you to a dancer. I don't have no straps for nobody. I don't got no straps.
But people still want to feel.
I remember when that came out. I respect it that he wasn't trying to put on like a facade. It's just about how the music sounds and about the music. Not about him living some kind of criminal life. Because what is all this money? Like, there's so many successful musicians and rappers who do lead these criminal lives, and they got all this money, and then they get arrested, and then they're in jail for the rest of their life, or for a large amount of time. But like, what is the point of the money? What is the point of the money if you are locked away in a prison cell? It doesn't make any sense.
The real thing, and I think that
as soon as you do get the money, and if you are in that kind of life, you should be booking it.
That's what King Von did. The whole YN culture taking over in general shows me our generation also just wants to obsess over violence just because. I know hella people make fun of Cardi listeners and the average Ken Carson fan, Destroy Lonely, whatnot. But I'd rather Billy from Utah obsess over Cardi and try to act mysterious than Billy from Utah obsess over King Von and him be a young boy. Like, bro, the top enemy to black people in America is the YN because it makes the whole community look bad. And the fact that it's the most glorified on social media is a blow to the face. Because you'll have the old white people looking at their grandkids and them reenacting Murder on My Mind and blaming everyone that's black for it, even though most black people don't even like them either. I just imagine them waking up one morning and seeing their bundle of joy in their front yard recording a music video like this.
You say you crazy, can you see me and you do nada? Yeah, you do nada, nada, nada. Walking to the rain. Walking to the rain.
3 squared on his neck. So does that mean he's 9 years old? That's an awful lot of cough syrup, it says on his pants. Okay.
So anyways, that's everything overall. Let me know how violent y'all are in the comments. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, I love you guys.
Yeah, I don't know. People have always been violent, right? Like, people have always been violent. There's always been violence in humans. for the longest time. I don't think it's anything new, but it's definitely, you know, with TikTok and Instagram, it's definitely a new way of experiencing it, I would say, because the people like the stuff because I think it's in human nature. It's not like they're being forced to like it. People like it inherently. Like, you go back all throughout human history. It's all violent. It's all violent. But anyway, hope you guys like this video. Probably a little bit more serious than I think some of the other Tommy NFG videos I've seen. But yeah, with that being said, I'll see you guys next time.